Welcome back to Criminal Mind Analysis. I'm your host, and this is episode 3 of our comprehensive Ted Bundy series. Today, we're examining the calculated psychology behind Bundy's hunting methods. How did he select his victims? What psychological techniques did he use to lure them? We'll break down his predatory behavior and reveal the chilling methodology behind his crimes. This is the psychology of predation. Ted Bundy's hunting methods reveal the mind of a calculated predator who turned murder into a psychological science. His approach was methodical, strategic, and terrifyingly effective, allowing him to kill for over a decade while evading capture. Bundy's victim selection followed a specific psychological pattern that revealed his deep-seated motivations. He primarily targeted young, attractive women between 18 and 25 years old, with long, dark hair parted in the middle. This wasn't random. It was a deliberate choice rooted in his psychological trauma and narcissistic rage. The physical type Bundy preferred closely resembled his first serious girlfriend, Stephanie Brooks, who had rejected him during college. This rejection was a devastating blow to his narcissistic ego, and his subsequent murders can be seen as symbolic revenge against her. Each victim became a substitute for Stephanie, allowing him to replay and control the scenario that had once left him powerless. Bundy's hunting grounds were carefully chosen for maximum advantage. He preferred college campuses and areas frequented by young women, places where his targets would feel safe and where a clean-cut, articulate young man wouldn't seem out of place. University of Washington, Oregon State University, and Florida State University became his primary hunting territories. The psychology behind his approach was masterful manipulation. Bundy understood that most people, especially women, are naturally helpful and compassionate. He exploited these positive human traits by creating scenarios where his targets would feel compelled to assist him. This wasn't just opportunistic, it was psychological warfare. His most famous technique involved feigning injury or disability. Bundy would wear a fake cast on his arm or leg, use crutches, or appear to struggle with everyday tasks. He would approach potential victims in parking lots, near their cars, or in other semi-isolated locations, asking for help carrying books, loading items into his vehicle, or finding a specific location. The fake cast technique was particularly effective because it served multiple psychological purposes. First, it made him appear vulnerable and non-threatening. Second, it triggered the victim's natural helping instinct. Third, it provided a logical reason for him to be near their car or to ask them to accompany him to his vehicle. Once the victim was close to his car, he could quickly overpower them. Bundy's choice of vehicle was also psychologically calculated. His tan Volkswagen Beetle was non-threatening, common, and easily forgettable. It didn't scream danger like a van or large car might. The Beetle was associated with college students and young people, making it blend seamlessly into campus environments. He later modified it, removing the passenger seat to create space for restraining victims. The timing of his attacks revealed sophisticated psychological planning. Bundy often struck during evening hours when visibility was reduced, but not so late that his presence would seem suspicious. He preferred times when his targets would be alone, but not in completely isolated areas where screams might go unheard. This balance allowed him to maintain the element of surprise while minimizing risk of discovery. Bundy's verbal manipulation techniques were equally calculated. He spoke in a friendly, educated manner that put people at ease. He often mentioned being a law student or working for a political campaign, establishing credibility and trustworthiness. His articulate speech and clean-cut appearance contradicted any suspicion that he might be dangerous. The psychological profile of his approach reveals a predator who understood human nature intimately. Bundy knew that people make quick judgments based on appearance and demeanor. He crafted his image to trigger positive assumptions: clean-cut, well-spoken, apparently educated, and seemingly in need of help. This combination was devastatingly effective. His hunting behavior also revealed the organized nature of his psychopathy. Unlike disorganized killers who act impulsively, Bundy planned meticulously. He scouted locations, studied potential victims' routines, and prepared his equipment in advance. This level of organization is characteristic of highly intelligent psychopaths who view their crimes as problems to be solved rather than emotional outbursts. The geographical spread of his crimes shows strategic thinking. Bundy moved between states, understanding that this would complicate law enforcement efforts. In the 1970s, communication between different police jurisdictions was limited, and he exploited these gaps in the system. His mobility was both a hunting strategy and a survival technique. Bundy's evolution as a predator is also psychologically significant. His early crimes were more impulsive and risky, but he learned from each experience. He refined his techniques, improved his deception methods, and became more sophisticated in his approach. This learning curve demonstrates the adaptive nature of the psychopathic behavior. The psychological impact on his victims was part of his gratification. Bundy enjoyed the moment of realization when his victims understood their situation. He fed off their fear and helplessness, which provided him with a sense of power and control that he couldn't achieve through normal means. This psychological sadism was as important to him as the physical violence. His ability to compartmentalize was crucial to his hunting success. Bundy could switch between his charming public persona and his predatory mindset seamlessly. This psychological flexibility allowed him to maintain relationships, hold jobs, and appear normal while actively hunting victims. Few people suspected the monster hiding behind his charming facade. The study of Bundy's hunting methods has revolutionized criminal profiling and victim safety education. Law enforcement now understands the importance of looking for patterns in victim selection and geographical behavior. His case led to the development of modern serial killer profiling techniques that are still used today. Understanding Bundy's predatory psychology also helps potential victims recognize dangerous situations. His techniques, feigning injury, asking for help, creating scenarios that require isolation, are now taught in personal safety courses. Knowledge of his methods has undoubtedly saved lives by making people more aware of manipulation tactics. Understanding predatory psychology isn't just academic, it's potentially life-saving. Bundy's hunting methods teach us to trust our instincts and be cautious of overly charming strangers who create scenarios requiring us to help them in isolated areas. Thank you for watching this analysis of predatory behavior. If you found this breakdown valuable, please subscribe and hit the notification bell for more criminal psychology content. Next episode, we'll examine Bundy's behavior during his trials and the psychology of narcissism on display. What hunting technique do you think was most effective? Share your thoughts in the comments. Stay vigilant and keep analyzing.